Well, hello, class. How is everyone doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. It's your instructor, Dominique McGee. I cannot wait to have today's conversation with you all as we get into our journaling and we begin our self-rediscovery journey. Why is it important that we get back to self? Why is it important that we take the time to withdraw and get back to self? Excuse me, guys. It is extremely important that we do so because we can be bogged down by life. And we have to peel back the layers of the labels that have been put on us for the things that do not represent us, that do not serve us, that are being imposed on us, for things that we are involved in, circumstances, situations, relationships, lifestyles, whatever the case may be. But the things that we are involved in, that is not who we are, and not a representation of what we want our life to be or who we are. So, yeah, we have to peel back like an onion. We got to get to the root of it, okay? We got to get to the center of it. And if you're not ready to be honest with yourself, all right, go ahead and exit and we'll discuss it in a one-on-one of what's it actually going to take. And this is important, as you can see, that even in on the worksheet that I have written out, that you can start with your journal. It will be focusing on self-rediscovery. Questions such as, who am I? Not who the world says I am, not who my family says I am, not who the hood says I am, not who my cousins say I am, not who my ex-friends say who I am, not who my school says I am, not even who society says I am. But who am I? Am I familiar with self? Do I have a real understanding of self? That's where we're getting at when we take the time to say, okay, who am I? I'm going to do away with all this outside things, with all of these outside things, because that's not who I am. I may be a child of my mother, but I'm not my mother. I may be a child of my father, but I'm not my father. I may even resemble my auntie, but I'm not her. It might take me a little longer to catch up in school, but don't by no means am I slow, like they may say. You got to look at it. You may be good in the medical field, but you have a desire to be an engineer. So your family is going against what you desire for yourself. There's a lot of avenues. You can lose your self-identity in relationships, in friendships, in denying yourself who you really are and becoming who they want you to be. To fit the profile, to fit the spot, to be accepted, to be liked. See, these all are very, very dangerous places to be in life. Okay, so let's continue. What are my values? What do I stand on? What am I about? Where do I cross the line? And when you look into your values, also look into your beliefs. What is your belief system, spiritual? What is your personal belief system about yourself? About others? Yours, not anyone else's. Taking the time to stop and really ask yourself as you're journaling, getting to know yourself. Now, many of you, if you want to go the route of writing everything that was said about you, even in your values, you can give me the values of the world, or you can give me the values of your family, or whatever values that you're not settled in with, or that you may be settled in with. But what are your values? Where are you coming from when it comes to your values? Why? Because our belief system about ourselves actually has a lot. We'll get into it. Let me go, because I was about to break it down. But let's get into it. All right. What matters to me most? What matters to each and every one of you the most? Not what should matter or what someone else feels like should matter, but I want you to really be honest, because this is with yourself. When we're talking about self rediscovery, we're talking about you. So when you're journaling and you're writing, you're taking the time to be honest and actually dig that out. What matters to me most? So let's get into, what is my personality type? Now, for me in particularly, this was kind of fun, a little bit, because I had to really think about what kind of person I am. Yeah, I hear you got a good heart, all these good things, but really, what is my personality type? What kind of person am I? And I really had to think on this and give it some real thought, right? So let me just go into it just a minute right here, guys. So I had to think on it and give it some thought. What is my personality type? I'm outgoing, I'm caring, I'm resilient, I'm strong. See, these are all, good things, right? I'm also reserved. I like people, but I don't like people. I like to conversate, but actually I really don't. I like to spend 75% of my time reading or by myself in meditation or thoughts, preferably in my spiritual element. I love to eat. These are things about me. So when I'm thinking about what makes me in a whole, what about my personality? I can be very patient, but at the same time, I can be very impatient. What kind of person am I? Do I have let me see. Do I have the capacity to be an extremist? Like, do I go from 1 to 0 to 100? Yeah, I think I do. But no, I don't go forward and build things unless I'm absolutely sure. So then I'm really reserved and I'm questioning them. But you can sit down and break down all these little things about yourself. Because once you get a better understanding of who you are, what you really like, and why you like the things you are, why you are the way you are, you can really sit down and have a better understanding of self. So, and then we'll bring them together as a personality type. And we'll go over the many different personality types, which is fun because when we get to that part, all of the little things, like the examples you just heard me go over, you will be able to look at some for yourself and say, okay, Miss McGee, I might be here or I might be here. And it's really good to notice how we are and how we can potentially be when it comes to our personality traits and characteristics. Okay, so what does it mean to me? What does it mean to me to have a good life? What is keeping me from having a good life? What would a good life look like for me? What would it mean to me? What is it? What is keeping me from having a good life right where I'm at? What is keeping me from pursuing the good life? But overall, what does the good life mean to me? What does that look like for me? You have to have an understanding, not what the outside world says I have to be a millionaire. I got to drive nice cars. My body got to look a certain way. I got it. It's no. That's what success and a good life means to someone else. But when you look at what makes you happy and what success and that little cozy corner for you, what does a good life look like for you? What does that mean for you? That's interesting. So I can't wait to see some of your answers when it comes to that one. So let's continue. Let's get into it. Where does my self-worth come from? That's deep. When you sit down and you think, first of all, how do I feel about myself when it comes to my worth? Because your worth will determine how much you give of yourself out to the world. How you determine your worth will determine exactly how much of yourself you will give out into the world. How much of yourself that you will let the world take and take and take and take and take. What you allow to be done and how you will allow it to be done to you and within your life. So getting to a place where you have a solid understanding of your self-worth definitely matters. So let's go into, what do I really need right now? Out of all of the things, see, we have a pyramid, right? And it starts with things that I would like to have. Okay, these are things that I would not live or if they will not kill me, or they will not make a difference if I live or die if I do not have these things. But I would like to have them, and they may or may not make life easier or be nice to have, whatever the case may be. Then on the second level, these are the things that I need, but they are not immediate. They may be a comfort. They will make things easier, better to have. But they're not exactly a must-have. And then at the top of the pyramid, you have an absolute must-need. This is what I have to have to maintain my life. This is about my survival. This is a need. This is not a want, but it can wait, and it'll be good to have. But this is the need. So when we look at our life and we look at what's going on, and we look at what could potentially be holding us back or keeping us, what is that thing that I need right now? For a lot of us, we will say financial security. But if we had it, could we manage it? Do we have the proper knowledge and tools to manage it? Or was that pyramid I just spoke of? when it comes to spending, where do we see ourselves operating in this pyramid? A lot of us, because we operate in struggle mode so long, we go straight to the things that at the bottom. It would be very nice to have these things. Very nice to have these things. And we neglect the need and the want, but not right now. And we go to the very nice things to have. And we begin to excessively spend on these things and mess up financially. This is not the case for everyone. But once you have a solid system and understanding of whatever it is that you need right now, you can break down a big goal into little steps, achievable steps. This is the ultimate end goal. So what are the steps I need to take to get there, to fulfill this absolute need that I have? Practical, measurable steps that you can actually take that will help you progress a little further. But you have to start with identifying what your needs are exactly right now. Not your wants, not the pleasantries. and all of these things, but the absolute needs. Okay, so let's go into areas of improvement. Now, when we look at our life, right, and we look and we tell our stories and we tell about things that happen to us and how they happen to us, we must also, when we sit down, hold ourselves accountable for the decisions that we personally have made. Yes, we all have been through some really tough things, some really bad things, but we have really made some. I'm going to say, let me be the first one. Hold on. Let me get my sleeves right. To raise my hand to say that I am not one who is kept from making bad decisions. I am not perfect, and nor have I ever claimed or said I am or was. And I have done bad things, and the result of it had been taken through many, many difficult changes. So when I am standing here and I'm like areas of improvement, I can honestly say it took for me to sit down. Let me put my sleeves down. They went up, didn't they? And be honest and say, hey, this is what's hurting me. Is this behavior? Is these friends? Is this relationship? Is this situationship? Is this connection? Is this environment? Is these substances? Is these behaviors? Whatever it is, you have to sit down and be honest with self. Hey, where do I need to improve? Where do I need to tighten up? Where do I need to get right? This is not somebody on the outside telling you, yo, you need to tighten up here, or you need to get your life together over there, or I can see your dirt up under your skirt. No, this is you being honest with yourself and taking the time to do so and really mapping out the areas of your life where you're doing good. The areas in your life where you have needs that really need to be met, and the areas of your life where you really need to improve. And you need to hold yourself accountable in that area. So let's keep going. Let's think about this one. What does it mean to be free? And am I actually truly free? What would it take? That's a lot, because most of us are going through emotional, physical, sexual. It's all different kinds, financial. The challenges, the struggles can hit the Richter scale on so many different levels, on the verge of so many different things. So when we sit down and say, I feel like I am being held captive, I feel like I am being held back, I feel like I am chained, I feel like I am just being shorted in this area. Why? What is it? What's going on? Is it a spiritual attack? Is it a financial attack? Is it a physical one? You have to identify where and how, so you know how to work within, fixing this area in your life. So let's go on. I'm almost there. So I'm not going to go over everything on the list, but I do want to cover a couple of them, because when you get into your worksheets and you start journaling, I really want you to give it some real thought. So the question is, am I resistant to change? The next one. Am I resistant to change? And if I'm resistant to change, why? Has change always been bad for me? Is change scary for me and intimidating and overwhelming for me? Is it too challenging? Is it something that I fear? You have to be honest. You're writing in your journal. This is not something I'm going to sit down and just go over all of your thoughts. But in our one-on-one, the areas that you really want to discuss with me, we will go over them. In our group sessions, that's where we come together and we discuss in a whole. Hey, this is affecting all of us. And we get to work through it together and come up with different strategies and techniques to see, how we can grow. All right. So what do I value more? Wisdom, intelligence, knowledge, experience. This tells you about you. What do you value more in that area? Okay, the next one is, what is your definition of success? Not the outside world's definition. Please don't give me, and don't short yourself by giving yourself an outside answer or definition of what it could mean, success means and looks like for you. I really want you to take the time and journal and give it some deep thought. What is success to me? What does that look like for me? What is the meaning of it to me? Okay. Yes, that one is so good. Yes. So what are the things that worry me, and what do I do to let them go? We all go through things, and life hits hard. And I'm not just talking about the expected things, but the unexpected things that throw us off, the expected things that are continuously overwhelming. What are these things that have me worried? And how do I deal with them? Do I overlook them? Am I compensating for them somewhere? Or am I really letting them go? Am I really facing them head on? What is my technique? What is my strategy? What am I doing? Sometimes, I'm so strong, guys. Let me tell you this. I'm so strong, and I got it in the bag. I'm in the ring. I'm doing my thing. I'm in the ring. And sometimes even the good fighter takes too many blows. Oh, hold on, God. You didn't tell me it was, woo. Oh, woo. All right, wait a minute, because I'm about to snap out. wait, what's going on? And it's like battle after battle, or trouble after trouble, situation after situation, challenge after challenge, and I can dodge one and run right into another one, and I can jump over this wave just to get hit by an even bigger one, and it's hard. And sometimes I'm like, God, I done prayed all I can pray. I done cried all I can cry. I done praised all I can pray. What am I supposed to do? And I'm a spiritual person. That's why you always hear me refer to, because I take it to God instead of them people. Okay. But I do have that one person I can go to and say, I'm falling apart. Like, I'm worried about this, and this is what's bothering me. And that person is my go-to person, because we begin to talk. And first of all, she always says, calm down. God has you. We'll work it out. What's the problem? You can't get to it like that. And not everybody, I know it's hard to find somebody to talk to, because when you give a lot, you're being vulnerable and you can't really trust people. But trust that you can always talk to God. You can always talk to that one person that you actually do trust. There is mentors and support teams at Breakin Khainz that you can also talk with if you don't have an outside support system. But being able to identify what is really worrying you, what is keeping you in distress, what is keeping you up at night, what is bothering you, and ways to handle it, face it, and, get over and move on. A lot of us say get over, but what I'm saying is continuously, working on it, continuously getting over that hump, over that day, over that hour, over that 30 minutes, whatever the case may be. Okay, what are my gifts? What are my gifts? Think about it. Some may be long lost gifts. Something that you have locked away within yourself and you haven't done it in a while. You have put it down because someone else didn't believe in you, or those in your life at the time didn't give you the space and grace to pursue it. But if there is something inside of you that is yours, it's your gift, it's your talent, whether you have done it in a while or not, what is it? If you have many, what are they? Pull them out. I can't wait to read about them. Let's discuss it in our sessions. Okay, what do I contribute to society? We all give back in some way. We are all connected in some way. We are all here to influence each other in some way. That's why I'm a train breaker. That's my section. I reach back, and build leaders. I'm the frontline fighter. That's my section. So if they start announcing us, right? They start announcing us. Now let's get pulled up. Let's get the front runners. Let's get the yeah, that's gonna be me. The fighters, the warriors, that's gonna be me. They're gonna be announcing me. What is your contribution to society? When they come to announce your section, what's your section? See, everybody in my section is fighters. Everybody in my section is chain breakers. Everybody in my section is gravitating to betterment and building. Yeah, we fighters. We out here by all means necessary. We not with all that. We got to make it. We on a mission. But when your announcement comes out, what is your contribution to society? Where do I define work life, personal life, my family life, my spiritual time in balance? Am I balanced? And I thank God for the opportunity to even speak on this one because, guys, I used to be in a place where I knew I had something to do and I knew I wanted to do something, but I didn't know how to do it. I did not know how to do it. I didn't even know where to pick up the pieces to begin. I didn't even know what. And every time I tried to pick up a book, oh my gosh. I'm like, why is it so hard? Even before I wrote the past 2 books that I wrote, it was so hard for me to get back into writing, but I had to discipline myself. I had to create a balance because even when I started building my organization and my company, I would stay up all night long and I would end up passing out in front of my computer or in my office couch. And my husband would come and say, hey, you haven't been in bed in a week. What's going on? You're not resting properly. My kids would feel the frustration because I'm always working. And they're like, we don't want chicken nuggets and stuff tonight, Mom. We want you to cook. Okay? What's going on? We want you to cook. And I was feeling overwhelmed mentally and emotionally by the 6th month. I was like, oh my gosh, the back of my neck was hurting. I was just like, what I was loving, what I was building, my baby, was starting to get to me. Okay, it was starting to get on my nerves. I was about to give up. I was just like, you know what? I didn't even have help. So I was kind of like, wait a minute, I don't have balance here. And I said, if God gave me the vision, I got to go back to God. So I started spending more time in my spiritual element, in praise, in prayer, and bringing myself under subjection before God, making sure that His will is my will, making sure I'm in alignment and there whatever areas that I need to fix, that they come to light. So I work on them things that I'm not forgetting and I'm not too, too much for myself. I don't never become too much for myself. I remember to be humble. So, and for me, that means remaining in my spiritual element and bringing myself before God and always knowing that I'm not perfect and I'm not this super saint because no, I'm not. And in that, God is balance. So I do my organization. I work within my community, with my company. I do all that. I'm a great mother. I'm a great spouse. I'm there for my partner. I'm there. But then I have to stop and take care of me. Okay, I gotta, don't call, don't text. All right, I have to take care of me. I have to do what I'm supposed to be doing. Where I have to exercise my gifts, okay? I have to exercise my talents, okay? Everybody good? Good. Now let me go take care of me, and that's and it comes full circle. When I tell you I love it because full circle, I'm like so busy in the organization. I'm so busy teaching these classes. I'm so busy in the community. I'm so busy with Visionary Pathfinders. I'm busy with speaking. And I'm busy with working with a lot of you. At the same time, I am also modeling. I am also acting. I am also doing music. I'm doing what I'm operating in my talents. I'm working them so they'll work for me. I'm doing other things. I'm relaxing. I'm going to my favorite places. I'm eating my favorite fruits. I'm taking care of me. Okay. I'm doing me. So I have a full circle balance plan. And a lot of us get so caught up in work that we forget about ourselves. We forget about our dreams. We forget about that part. And we begin so overwhelmed with this, our mission. And because of that, guess what happens? We don't even want to do it anymore. We don't even like it anymore. So let's get to a place where we're balanced in all that we're doing and we set out to do and everywhere. So we're taking really good care of ourselves. Okay. We're really centered in what's going on and we're in there in our lives present moment. So let's go over a couple more of these. How do I move past unpleasant thoughts and experiences? How do I move past what has happened to me? First, by recognizing I am not what has happened to me. I am better than that. That does not control me. I will not allow it to continue to stop, hold me back, and stifle my growth. No longer would I let it lock down on me. I'm going to what? Tell me how you handle these situations. What are you going to do? I had to understand this when I was really getting into this part of my journal, that a lot of that pain and anger I was holding on, those people have been moved on with their life. They're not hurting. They're not worried. They don't even care what they have done to me. Some, if they could come back in and do it again, they would. Others, they might be sorry, or they might be facing their karma or going through whatever God is taking them through because of it. But I cannot allow what was control the what is or the what is to come, because I operate in my spiritual. I know that is not going to control me. Nope, it has no power. Nope, I'm not going to let it gain power. Nope, I'm not going to let it in here. So you have to come up with how you're going to handle that. So that's why we're in personal growth. When you see your instructor gets really excited about this stuff, because I've been through it. I've actually had to sit down and be honest and work through myself and get right. All right, so let's go over the last two. Oh, well, I'm going to give you 20, then you can go over the rest of your worksheet. How about that? The last one. Do I desire to be in a position of power? What is my motive? Is money the motive? Is it power? Is it respect? Is it eating right? What is it that you desire as your portion in life? Is it power? And why? What does that mean to me? What is that going to do for me? What is that going to do for my loved ones? What is that going to do for my community or my society? So as we get into getting more acquainted with ourselves and answering some of the many questions, please remember to be honest with yourself. And I look forward to seeing you all next week in class. Please have a blessed day and be honest on your worksheets. And if you are not a Breakin Khainz enrollee, hey, get enrolled. Bye-bye now. Selena.